Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Subway JPW podcast. I'm Brandon Wilhelm, the development agent.
And I'm Michael Lentini. I'm the Director of Operations for Subway JPW. To open this podcast, I want to share some feedback with you guys from a guy named Ryan down in Seneca. Ryan shares that I just wanted to say that you two have a great podcast. I love the extra effort you guys are putting in towards helping out franchisees in stores. Hopefully this continues to be a success for you guys. So Ryan, I want to say thank you for that feedback, and then just to share some performance with you guys on the results so far from our podcast. So as of today, we have a view rate of 80.5%. We send this out to about 402 people. 80.5% of you are opening them. The average view time is 11 minutes, so that also gives us an indication as to how long we have on these podcasts. And then that compares to the emails that we send out at a 38.8% view rate. So the reason we're doing these podcasts, give you guys an efficient and effective way to communicate. I promise you guys at least one other time this year, we're gonna have some fancy creative outfits for you guys.
Christy, there probably won't be any Cupid outfits for Valentine's Day. That was requested in Madison, and I don't think that's gonna happen, but you never know. We'll come up with something.
Great, so what are our topics today, Brandon?
All right, we're gonna talk about first a little bit about what's going on in the news cycle. I'm sure you guys have seen on social media and several different outlets like the New York Post and Business Insider that have been running some stories that are pretty sensational about Subway and the negative press. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about the guest perception accountability report, and then Mike's going to talk about the field consultants in the February business meetings, right?
Yep, very good.
So the first thing, I think everybody that's been plugged in at all lately has seen some of the negative news that's come out. A lot of it has been run from a couple specific writers out on the East Coast who have been recruiting franchisees, ex-franchisees, disgruntled people. They've been saying a lot of bad stuff about our brand. And a lot of it's just not true. So some of it, there are fair criticisms out there. I mean, there are things that obviously haven't been going well over the past few years that need to be improved. I just want to talk about what we can do locally and what you can do in your shops and how we can work together here without feeding that negative monster out there, really. When we see these things, it doesn't do a whole lot of good to share them or expand on them or publicize them on your Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. That just doesn't help spreading, bad or fake news or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't help us in the short term, right? What can we do locally? Well, there are times that obviously there might be disagreements with what's going on at headquarters, or there might be some constructive criticisms that either of the DA office or of national, of our advertising plan, that sort of thing, or of the FAF board. So those kind of things, we can have professional conversations about what we disagree with and how to give that kind of feedback in the right way and through the right channels. The wrong channels are to talk to your friends, your customers, your employees about all the things that you disagree with or that aren't going well. All that does is bring down the level of energy in your restaurant. And if your team doesn't believe that you are committed to excellence within your restaurant, then they're not going to be committed to excellence within your restaurant. And so all those things will drive down how our guests feel when they come into our restaurant. We need to have a positive environment. So I just want to challenge you guys. Hey, if there are criticisms, if there is feedback, constructive type things that we can work on improving, let's take those offline. I'm more than willing to have those conversations, give that type of feedback to headquarters, talk to the people directly that we can maybe help, push things in the right direction. We have to control the things that we can control. Locally, what can we do to increase our sales? No matter what is being advertised on TV, no matter what the current special is, what we need to do, what the things that we can control are within those four walls of your restaurant. So, and we've got some feedback that Mike's going to talk about how our guests feel when we're in a restaurant and how that correlates to sales. There's definitely something that we can do and make our customers feel better about visiting us and have a positive environment. They'll come back more often.
Yeah, exactly. And you said this, Brandon. I just want to highlight this for everyone. you as franchisees, or you, if you're an MUO, you as district managers, store managers, you set the tone and the energy level in your restaurants. And so if you've got a positive attitude, that's going to be contagious. If you have a negative attitude, that as well will be contagious. I want to encourage you guys in that. All right, so for our second topic, we're going to talk about the GPA, so guest perception accountability. The field consultants during their in-store visit will take a look through the eyes of the customer and rank you on this GPA, and you're going to get put into a bucket, a universal language of an A, B, C, or an F. Of course, the A's are those that performed the best. So I want to take that and then compare it to the CRS. This helps us build credibility. So what does the field consultant say? Is it truly through the eyes of a customer? Let's compare the GPA data to what the CRS says. And the CRS is the customer referral score. It comes directly from your 1-minute surveys. You can see the data there. Stores that we gave an A to, your customers are seeing the same thing. The A's were rated among the highest in regard to the CRS, and then the B's were slightly lower at a 66, the C's were at a 65, and the F's were at a 58. So again, this helps us build credibility with you when it comes to the data that we're putting together here in the GPA.
You know, some of the feedback that I've gotten over the past 12 years when it comes to evaluations and what we're looking at in stores is a lot of franchisees say, well, I think you guys really need to focus more on things that affect my sales and affect my customer count. So really that's what this does. This isn't a part of your evaluation, but it's something that really directly impacts what your customers see. So this is a comparison of how the different categories of restaurants, whether you're an A, B, C, or an F, compared to AUV. And this is really important because this shows that there's a direct correlation between the guest perception in your restaurant and your money, the amount of sales that come through your store. So obviously you can see in the AUV comparison chart that our A's have a significantly higher AUV, and their index has been much less affected in a negative year, has still been a much higher index than the F's. So this just shows that, yeah, the customer or the customer referral score, there are some outliers here and there, but the trend over all those thousands of surveys shows that our A's correlate with higher customer referral scores and our F's correlate with lower customer referral scores. And the A's, if you have excellent, customer service and welcoming atmosphere and good upselling and that sort of thing, great service in your store, it shows a very clear difference between the volume that you're doing in your store versus the ones that have poor customer service, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, you can handle the data one of two ways. You can accept it and use it as a tool, or you can make excuses and say the data is wrong. We want to encourage you guys to use this as a tool. This is a tool that we put together for you, our franchisees. We don't do anything else with the data. The data is for you to take a look at and really buy into this idea that we all need to raise the bar in the guest experience. So regardless of what the data says, I think we would all agree that we as a brand need to raise the bar in the area of customer service. So those of you that are A's, it's not okay for us to sit back and say we've arrived. No, we need to continue to do this better and better. And you guys know that as well as I do. Our last topic we'll talk about today is the February business plan meetings. Now in February, the evaluations for the majority of our stores, those stores that are not in arbitration, their evaluations are waived if they schedule a February business plan meeting with the field consultants. So our field consultants have done an excellent job, number one, preparing for these meetings, and number two, reaching out to you to schedule them. So if you don't have one on your calendar, please reach out to your field consultants. I'm going to share two of the major topics that they will be going through during those meetings. And the first one is the RAPs. Now we've hosted RAP training. We actually have about 20 of them throughout the territory, and over 150 people have attended those RAP trainings. So thank you guys for getting out and attending. They've been a lot of fun to be a part of. And so you've already seen the RAPs once, but we're going to review them in the stores again. And then the second largest topic is the MyWave rewards. Now, when it comes to technology, you have two sides of the fence with this. Either you get it or you don't get it. Our team spent 4 hours over 2 separate days going over just the MyWave rewards. So the successful launch of this program relies on you as the franchisee and you as store managers. You need to train your people, and these meetings are set up that way. So the field consultants are training the trainers. Maybe that's you as a franchisee, or if you're an MUO, that's your store manager. So they're taking time to train you. This is a focus on true consulting. There's no evaluation. There's no recorded GPA for this particular month.
Yeah, it's a time for you guys to have your manager invest that time with our field consultant instead of having an evaluation. It's a great way for them to build, kind of a team rapport there, so that they can work together on how to increase your business.
Last thing I want to share on that topic is, after those business meetings, you're not done. You've been trained, and then you need to train your people. So then you need to schedule time with your sandwich artists, make sure that they're up to date. There's a ton of resources out there. Your field consultants have a packet for you. There's Subway University classes that are really good on those topics. So take advantage of the tools available to you.
To wrap it up, you guys have seen the invitations that have gone out for the March Roadshow. That will be March 15th. We'll be bringing back a lot of information from the DALC and the MUO meetings out in San Diego. And also, if you're going to the MUO in San Diego, please let Renee know in the office. I'd like to hook up with everybody from our area that's out there. I will be out there all week. So thanks.
Yeah, let Renee know. Have Brandon buy you guys dinner. So I'll be out there as well. Look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for tuning in for our February podcast, and it's a pleasure being in business with you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to the Subway JPW podcast, a creative approach to communication designed to keep you informed, connected, and equipped. To receive notifications when new episodes are available, select subscribe below. Thanks for all you do, and continue to create great.